Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Rob Wayne. I'm doing a little bit of an unorthodox video today. No real, no real script. No video to speak of my beautiful face, which you can normally find on my Twitch channel. But I am going to be kind of commentating, kind of describing this video. Basically, I'm playing this guy that I found in the arenas. This is day 1 of Kazuya in Smash Ultimate, and I'm just making a quick video for the Mr. Game & Watch mains subreddit to kind of show my experiences and maybe some tips for how other people could fight against Kazuya. So this character, I think, is actually a pretty favorable matchup for Game & Watch, all things considered. He's a very, very hard hitter. He's got a lot of really strong combo game, but there are several things that Game & Watch can do that really just snuff out a lot of Kazuya's better abilities, and I'll discuss more of those in specific in this video. As you're watching, if you see anything that you think I really could have capitalized on, or that the Kazuya could have done differently, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking to improve my game. I am not the world's greatest Smash player, I am very, very far from a pro, but I'm always looking to improve, so I really appreciate any advice. His press the A button really hard and do 10 hits is a big problem. That, I think, is one of the biggest things that a Game & Watch or most other characters is going to have to look out for. That's hard. If you don't see it in time, you will not be able to shield it, or at least I wasn't able to several times. But when you see it coming, it's very easy to shield. For Game & Watch is definitely got to up B out of it. Super easy, super good to react to if you catch it in time. A repeated thing I'll do over the course of this entire 3 matches is if I don't see his laser beam attack, I think it's his neutral B coming, I get hit by it. It is kind of hard to predict. It's hard to predict, and you really need to be able to react as soon as he raises his arms back to do that. That's when you kind of need to be ready for it. A bunch of times I just kind of put out my bucket just in case, but that very rarely works out for me. Game & Watch's goal in this matchup is definitely to keep Kazuya at arm's length and only really close in when he's ready to strike, and then to quickly move back away. Not really in a zoning capacity, just understanding that he hits much harder than you do. Up B really to escape anytime he gets too close. Shielding, rolling, and then usually a good forward air, maybe even a neutral air might work, can really help, well, really just to help you survive in a match against Kazuya, because the longer you're in a match with him, the more likely it is that he is going to hit you very, very hard. In just one attack, or just a few button presses, he can very easily get a Game & Watch to 30, 40, 50, 60%, so that's definitely something to be aware of and to respect. Definitely respect Kazuya's space and his combo game. The biggest issue that I saw a lot of the times I was facing him, Kazuya's grabs are just so incredibly strong. As you saw in the reveal trailer and the ability trailer that Sakurai put out, when he grabs you, the screen just zooms in for absolutely no reason, and they are incredibly strong. There was a time where, I think later in either this match or the next match, he grabs me and kills me, and I think I'm at like 40 or 50. So you want to talk about having a kill throw, I kills me at like 40 or 50%. It was ridiculous. Now I know Game & Watch is light, but there are characters that I've fought against and I survive up to 100, 150% as Game & Watch, and he just, can kill with a grab, or hit me one time and it's 30 or 40 damage. It's wild. So definitely something to be aware of, especially not just for Game & Watch characters, but anyone who plays a lighter character. It can be a real issue. He's starting to adapt to my hitting him with up B repeatedly off stage. But when you can land that, it's really damaging. The up Bs are super damaging, and they're really easy to catch him off stage just over and over and over again, especially if you feel like you know which way, like if they're going to recover high or low. Really, really good to catch on. The kick that he does, where he jumps up in the air and then slams his leg down, that is super easy for Game & Watch to interrupt. As soon as you see him go up, there's kind of a delay. Run in and do our up air. The up air from Game & Watch is probably the biggest thing that knocks out that move, because it's super, super strong if it hits, but there's just so much of a delay frame-wise. Oh, right there. That what you want to do is hit him with the up air, and honestly, you can up air chain it, for sure. Our biggest tool as a Game & Watch in this matchup are forward air, back air, and forward tilt. Definitely sprinkle in all your other moves, but those are going to be your big money makers. I found myself heavily relying on up B, forward tilt, back air, forward air. Game & Watch's neutral B can actually be really, really good for kind of spacing out Kazuya and getting him to just kind of back off you. It's a good call if you're tired of using up B over and over and over again. I did not find a lot of luck with using my dash attack. Usually dash attacks are great for when I play against Shotos, but this guy in particular was really, really ready for them every single time, and he was really on a lot of his shields. So a lot of my cheap shots really didn't get to him. This guy, again, really, really great player. We also played a few matches where he was Snake, and he's just exceptionally skilled at this game, so definitely check him on Instagram if you'd like. If he rolls in, your jab can be a really good tool to get him off of you, but other than that, it's that neutral B that really, really gets that spacing in and gets him to kind of respect you. Just be wary of a roll. Make sure you're at least enough distance away that he can't roll behind you one time and then immediately react to what you were doing. At 77%, almost every single move that Kazuya has is able to kill me. Almost every single move is a kill throw. So on the last stock, that's definitely a situation where you have to be flighty and you have to keep away from him. That's very, very important for a Game & Watch survival here. Like many other characters, Game & Watch can avoid a number of his attacks simply by crouching very flat. Also, landing those forward airs at very particular times and dropping your forward airs super, super regularly can really help rack up the damage against someone who does a lot more damage than you do as a Game & Watch. Whenever he recovers high, definitely get him with the back air. That'll be a really great way to rack up even more damage. Back air, forward air. Remember, he's really, really strong on the ground, so anytime you can use an aerial or get him into the air, that's when it really becomes your game. Alright, so this is the third and final match that we played. I figured he was going to go in for that laser attack, so I just went ahead and ducked down. Yeah, those combos can be very, very damaging for Game & Watch. Big, high recovery, and then surprise him with the back. He can break your shields super easily, but with a lot of his single hit moves, shields are relatively safe, so definitely use those regularly and be ready to shield. A full hop back or forward air is one of Game & Watch's best tools to just kind of knock out Kazuya. Over and over with these up airs, very easy money. His recovery is just not great. It's very vertical, or if he uses a side B, it's directly laterally, but I didn't have a lot of trouble snuffing out his recoveries, especially off stage. By the way, the person that I'm fighting here, pretty nice guy. We had a really good exchange both before and after the fights. I will link his Instagram in the video description. Remember, this is kill percent, so... Oh, that one connected. Narrowly missed that one. That throw is going to be a kill every time, almost every time. Throws are very, very powerful. Definitely watch out for those when you're playing Kazuya. And then there's that 10-hit combo. You see me trying to do something to get out of there. Maybe a neutral air would have been better. Definitely have to lab that a little bit more. Here I'm really just trying to hit him into the air, but it doesn't work out that way. And also another thing I like to do as a Game & Watch is sometimes I'll just send out a forward air just to have it explode and then use the kind of explosion smoke effect to mask my next move, which is a really, really good follow-up. If you just throw out that forward air and immediately go into back air, neutral air, forward tilt, those things can be really effective at surprising your opponent and keeping them on their toes. One, 2, 3, 4. Again, those up airs are extremely, extremely good at snuffing out that vertical recovery of physical. There's that lasting hitbox on the floor. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm Meet Rob Wayne on Instagram, Rob Wayne on Twitch. Please check out AnyGameG on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for participating in this match today. Have a great time. See ya.